So what do we learn this week about Vizier Ooze Combo for Modern? And overall, we finished with a 2-3 record, and I was actually pretty happy with that. I was afraid that this was going to be like a 0-5 deck, maybe a never win type of deck, but we did manage to pull off the combo, and we even comboed off in some of the matches that we lost. So the combo actually did happen a reasonable amount of the time, and we were able to win games a reasonable amount of the time with it. So my favorite part about this deck is how we just kind of stumbled across some really cool interactions as we were going. Like, Necrotic Ooze is insane in this deck. The ability to get a Devoted Druid and a Fauna Shaman in the graveyard with Necrotic Ooze is just so sweet. The Devoted Druid ability on a Ooze actually does a lot more than just make mana. We're able to basically activate Ooze as a Fauna Shaman multiple times by untapping it with Devoted Druid. So there's some really cool tricks that we can do with the Necrotic Ooze in this deck, and synergies that aren't even readily apparent at first glance. So I think my takeaway with this deck is there's some really cool combo pieces. It is fragile. Necrotic Ooze dies to a sad number of things, including Lightning Bolt, Fatal Push with Revolt, which is pretty easy in Modern, Path to Exile. So the combo is pretty fizzleable, and we managed to dodge most of the graveyard hate. This deck just gets pretty wrecked by graveyard hate. We can kind of luck into Devoted Druid Vizier and win that way, but we're not really built to set up that combo. We just kind of stumble into it occasionally. So we're really built around the graveyard. We could have certainly run into more graveyard hate, and that would have made it a lot harder to win. I feel like the deck is just really scattered. I feel like the 3-ofs, like everything is essentially a 3-of in this deck, is just kind of not necessary. So it might be better to focus exclusively on one part of the combo, or maybe play a more straight up tutor package type deck. So I feel like we're just mixed with too many things. We have a little bit of put stuff in the graveyard with Grizzly Salvage, but not really that much that we can reliably just dump a ton of cards in the graveyard. We also have some like random discard outlets that want us to have cards in our hand. So I feel like the Vizier Ooze combo could work, but we need to figure out the best way to go about the combo and focus on that. Maybe it is just dumping mass cards in the graveyard. Grizzly Salvage, Satyr Wayfinders, maxing out on that ability, and instead of trying to like tutor up random pieces or luck into this or that, just hope that we mill the right things and can combo off that way. Or we could go the other direction and just try to be more tutory and set up our specific combo. I just feel like it's really scattered. The fact that we have so many 3-ofs makes it kind of difficult to find the pieces that we need at the right time, and maybe I don't know. So I like the idea. The other thing is we have a lot of random ways of winning with our Necrotic Ooze. Like, we have Morsel Hoarders for combo pieces. We have a Una for combo pieces. We have Walking Ballista to finish the game with Ooze. We have a Kessig Wolf Run to finish the game with Ooze. So we have a whole bunch of different ways, and I'm not sure that that's really necessary. Just turning Ooze into a Walking Ballista and using it to make infinite mana with Devoted Druid and Vizier, that's probably good enough. Or just having the Una is probably good enough. So I feel like we're wasting a lot of slots that we probably don't really need to be wasting, and having like 3 Birds of Paradise, that's not very good. Like, having 3 of them means odds are not like that great that we'll have one. Do we really want birds? Do we not want birds? So I feel like the deck is very rough and scattered, and when everything comes together and we get the perfect hand, we can do some really cool things and combo in one of the most unique ways I've seen in Modern. But we also get some really scattered hands where we just draw weird pieces that don't do anything. I think apart from just the randomness and the numbers and the scatteredness of the deck, which can be fixed, like focus in on one plan of the deck. We're going to make Ooze into an infinite mana producing Devoted Druid with Vizier and win with Walking Ballista, something like that. I think that would be fine. So focus on one plan. The other thing is our interaction is really bad. 3 Abrupt Decays. Abrupt Decay is kind of mediocre right now in Modern, I think, and Gaze of Granite, we pretty much sideboard it out every time. It's a cute idea with infinite mana, but it's not actually very effective. So I feel like we could easily get rid of the Abrupt Decays, get rid of the Gaze of Granite, cut down on some of the worst combo pieces. I don't think Morsel Hoarder is really necessary. We ended up cutting them a reasonable amount of the time. And in those slots, bring in more Thought Seizes, Fatal Pushes, good interaction, maybe Maelstrom Pulse as a catch-all, overall over the kind of weird Abrupt Decays, Graze of Granite, some of the weaker secondary combo pieces. The last thing I wanted to mention was the mana was also pretty problematic. The Cavern of Souls feel like a net negative in this deck, at least having 3 copies of them. There aren't that many heavy counterspell decks in Modern, and the problem is, if it's a heavy counterspell deck, like Blue-White Control, for example, they're probably going to be able to kill our Ooze anyway. They're going to have Path to Exiles, or Detention Spheres, or whatever, and our Ooze doesn't come down with haste, so even just, like, forcing our Ooze through a counterspell with Cavern isn't actually all that effective, because it's just going to die anyway before we get to combo off, and having the Caverns, without having a consistent creature type, along with the Kessig Wolf run, which can probably go as well. We never really needed that to win the game. If we were going infinite, we're going to be able to win without having Kessig Wolf run, just by making a huge Ooze or whatever. So I feel like the mana could be tightened up by getting rid of the Caverns, or at least maybe going down to 1 Cavern. If you want 1 Cavern, I guess that's fine, but I don't really see the point of Cavern in the deck. I don't really think Kessig Wolf run is necessary. So basically, the pathway forward I see for Vizier Ooze is the combo is sweet. It scoops the Graveyard Hate super hard. We got lucky to dodge it. So be warned, if you're going to build around this combo, you are going to lose to Rest in Peace. You are going to lose to Leyline of the Void, Relic of Progenitus, etc., etc., etc. That is the problem because of how Necrotic Ooze works as a card. So that's number 1. Number 2 is focus in on one aspect of the combo. I don't think we need Morsel Hoarders along with Devoted Druids. I think we can cut some of the lesser combo pieces, strengthen the numbers of the good stuff. Maybe we go up to 4 Birds of Paradise and get rid of the Morsel Hoarders, and go up to 4 Walking Ballistas, a legit good card. Go up to 4 Viziers and be like a normal Vizier Druid deck with this Necrotic Ooze combo built in as kind of like additional copies of our combo pieces if Devoted Druid dies or whatever. So I feel like that would make the deck better, just to cut some of the weaker combo pieces to go with 4 of our better combo pieces. And then fix interaction. Abrupt Decay, not good enough. Gaze of Granite, very much not good enough. Those should be Thought Seizes or Inquisitions or Fatal Pushes or Maelstrom Pulses. I don't really see a good reason to be playing these specific pieces of interaction. And then also fix the mana base, go down on the Caverns or cut them all together. Maybe, probably go down Kessig Wolf run as well. And then we'll have more colored mana. We had some games where we lost just by having like Cavern of Souls, Kessig Wolf run opening hands, and we couldn't cast any of our stuff. Sideboard could also be tightened up. I don't know about Lost Legacy being our primary combo stopper. I understand like the Crypt Incursion is Graveyard Hate that doesn't impact our graveyard. Same with the Ground Seal is like Graveyard Hate that doesn't really stop our combo. But I feel like Leyline of the Void probably better. Thought Seizes and Inquisitions probably better than Lost Legacy, or at least 3 Lost Legacies. So I think that can be tightened up with some better options as well. So overall, the deck is cool, and I really like the idea of the combo. Necrotic Ooze is one of the sweetest cards in all of Modern, so it was really cool to see it go off, but I feel like this build is certainly a work in progress and needs a ton of tuning, ton of play testing to really get to a point where it could be super competitive. And it's always going to have the flaw of really struggling with Graveyard Hate. No matter what tuning and testing and practicing you do, that's just like the underlying flaw of Necrotic Ooze that can't really be fixed. So overall, the deck was fun. We did some cool things. Didn't really have a great record, but it was fun to play anyway. So anyway, that's been our Much Abrew for this week. Vizier Ooze for Modern. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the videos, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.